I can't think of a better demographic than a 50 plus menopausal female to do this kind of approach. Give me one demographic that would benefit more than the woman who has been stuck with her weight loss for years, 4 months, nothing is working, and she's being inundated with all the bullshit noise. It's your stress, it's your cortisol. You need to do this, you need to do that. You need to wear a weighted vest. You need to do all these supplements. It's your hormones. Guys, it is so motivating to see that scale finally freaking move out of what you've been watching just increase and increase, or it has stalled out for months or even years.
This is Mastering Menopause. By using fitness, nutrition, lifestyle, and mindset, you can master your hormones and get your body back. I'm Kathy Cote with Catalyst Fitness and Nutrition. Let's get into it.
Welcome back to Mastering Menopause. This is going to be a different episode for you guys. For those of you that don't know, I just started a aggressive diet. It is a rapid fat loss protocol that I typically do for my clients. I do this with them periodically. So I just did one in January, and it was time to do another one. Get ready for summer. I do want to lose 5 pounds. I don't really have a weight loss goal more than a fat loss goal, because we want to get some of this excess fat off. But not only that, just the inflammation. I had this low-key shoulder pain, like neck pain, that was really annoying. It was like I just feel puffy and inflamed. My rings were tight on Monday. This was a culmination of my lifestyle and habits. Going to Vegas, I had trips, I had business trips, traveling jacks up my digestion. And so it was time for a reset. And also, we want to look cute in our bathing suit, right? So for vanity reasons, yes. But there are also some health benefits from this as well. Started on Monday. I will tell you that they are in the triple digits. For a lot of my clients, they're in the high triple digits. Some are in the lower quadruples. And there is a formula that we use to calculate the macros for this phase. But it is focused on protein and then whole foods. So there's no alcohol in this phase, okay? So we're cleaning that up, giving the digestion a break. We're not doing a freaking liquid diet. We're not doing some crazy cleanse, but you do get those kind of results, right? It is GLP-1 results without doing a GLP-1. Now, this is the thing that I wanted to come on today and talk about. We're gonna make the meal, okay? So let me preface this as saying that it is 4:30 p.m. on a Friday afternoon, and I have not eaten yet. I am not hungry. Now, this is not a flex, right? A little bit it is, but not a flex. This is not normal, but this is what happens. So you want to make sure that you're fed up before you do any kind of an approach like this. We're not limping in on a diet, right? You can't do this if you are not prepared for this. So did my prep protocol, made sure I had plenty of carbs on board. And so day one is pretty easy. You're not hungry. You're writing off the calories from the weekend, and things are good. Tuesday, Wednesday, it's like, yeah, you know what? I'm a little hungry, but it's not unmanageable by any means. And so hunger was in check Tuesday, Wednesday. I will tell you, I was taking a nap those days. Energy is fine. I will say workouts are going great. I increased weight on quite a few things on this week. So that's not an issue as far as workouts go. Last night, so Thursday, this was day 4, and I was fine. My first meal was at like 12 o'clock. My second meal, third meal, like we wrapped everything up by 6. And then by 9 o'clock, I'm like, I'm hungry. I want something. I don't typically eat at 9 o'clock. I will have a glass of wine, but that's another thing. I'm not even craving alcohol whatsoever. I did the first night just because it's like my habit, right? But after that, I was like, I haven't even thought about it. I was hungry. I was talking to my husband. I'm like, I either need to go to bed or I need to eat something. It was too early for bed. I'm like, I can just ride it through. And I'm like, no, After 10 minutes, I had some water and I'm like, no, I am truly hungry. So you need to listen to your body cues. So I had a rice cake with a little bit of salsa, and then I had a clementine, and then I felt fine. And so that was the first time where I'm like, questioning why am I doing this? And I always say, like, when that happens, have whatever it is that you're looking for. It wasn't like I was just craving something. It was just, I was truly hungry. And so at that point, when you go into the fridge, you'll eat anything. It's not that, what looks good, right? You're just hungry. Then you wonder, gosh, if it's this hard today, what's it going to be like tomorrow? And so taking it day by day, there is a point where you're going to reach utopia. As long as you don't just abort mission, you will come to a point where you reach utopia, where you are just not going to have any hunger. And that's today. Today is day 5. It is 4:40 and I still haven't eaten. This was not intentional. I had my water with my electrolytes this morning, and I ended up being on a string of calls that lasted way longer than I thought it was going to. I'm doing this with my clients, and we had our first week check-ins. We always do a call on Friday before the weekend. How are we doing? Are we ready? How are results? Stacy's already down 6 pounds. I'm like, how the hell is that possible? She's like, to be honest, had Memorial Day weekend. She came in, she's like, I was feeling puffy, inflamed, alcohol, stress, all of that stuff. And she lost like 3.5 pounds on the first day. Coach Megan's like, there was your weekend, right? This is what I'm talking about, inflammation coming down. But still, 6 pounds. What the hell, Stacy? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? And she's feeling good. Pam's down 4 pounds. And I'm like, oh, go girls. There's a couple more ladies that are doing it. And I got the calls, hey, can't make the call. So we just had a little meeting. Right after that, I had a client call that went a little bit longer than I thought. And then right after that, I had 5 minutes to get another client call. I forget what I was going to do. I think I was going to have a little bit of broth or something like that. And then I ended up doing something else. And I'm like, shit, I got to get on my call. And then that call ran long. And I'm like, all right. And I look at my calendar. I'm like, oh shit. I have to be somewhere and I'm going to be late if I don't get a hustle on. I am a member of Degree Wellness, and I had scheduled a light facial. I put on compression boots while I'm doing my light facial. I'm like, am I hungry? Do I need to grab something? I really was not. I'm like, all right, let's go. As soon as I was done with that, about 30 minutes, I'm like, do I go home and eat? Or I'm like, I'm really not that hungry. I'm just not hungry. I didn't feel like I needed to take a nap. I decided to go up to the mall because they have these amazing masseuses, and I got a chair massage. It's $35 for 30 minutes. Yes, no brainer. I always say, give me extra. Can you give me 40 minutes? And then he only charges me $40 for the 40 minutes, and I always give him a nice fat tip. So that was my day. Since I'm in the mall, let me just look around. I went to Dillard's, like a Macy's or whatever. I found cute sunglasses on sale, and I dilly-dallied in Dillard's. Again, not hungry. And then I'm like, this is ridiculous. I have to eat. I wasn't planned, and now I'm going through the mall. I'm stopped at Bath and Body Works, and then I'm going by GNC. I'm like, should I get something? I really should have something. And I'm like, what am I going to get? Like a protein bar or something? Again, the hunger is not there. And yes, I know I have to eat. Am I going to stick to my plan? I already have it all planned out in my Fitness Pal. So actually I'm using Chronometer and looking at the foods. I'm like, crap, now I got to actually cook that, which is what I'm about to do right now. This is utopia. This is the point where you get with an aggressive diet. This is the GLP-1, where you just aren't hungry. I know I have to eat. Yes, I'm going to eat. I'm not going to have to choke down my food or anything. For sure, as soon as I start eating, I'm definitely hungry, right? I need to eat. It's not going to be a problem. I say GLP-1 results, but it's not where you eat and then you just stop eating. With a GLP-1, you start eating and then you're just full right away, right? You have no interest in food. That is not what this is. I definitely have an interest in food. I'm just not hungry. And so this is super manageable. My clients, they do it for 14 days. For myself and the goal that I have to reduce body fat, probably looking for about 5 pounds, I'm already down 2.5 pounds since Monday. Yesterday was a stall. And I don't think it's not because I had a freaking clementine and a rice cake. It was because I had such a big drop. And then I had another drop. I was like, I don't think I'm going to get a drop, but I still did. It was like 0.2, but I'm like, I'll take it. At some point, it's going to stall out. And so today was exactly the same weight. I already know I'm going to get a drop tomorrow because I have done this enough times. This will be my fourth one that I already know how my body responds to it. So the point being is there is this utopia, and the enemy of any kind of a deficit is hunger. Right? You can listen to Andrew Coates' podcast called Live Free and Diet Hard. He had Martin McDonald on. He's like my mentor in this whole aggressive dieting thing. I use his calculator, the aggressive dieting blueprint. Megan and I went to Las Vegas in August of 2024. We attended his seminar and listened to him. He is a big deal in the nutrition world, and he has his own certification. He was on Andrew Coates' podcast and talking about this. This was long, so I highly recommend that you listen to the episode with Martin McDonald because he talks about this whole process and exactly what this involves. And this is where we are now, which is utopia, which makes it manageable. Okay, back to a 1,500 calorie diet. So say a moderate deficit. For me, I can maintain my weight on 2,000 calories. And so for me to lose a pound a week, it's like, okay, let's put you into a deficit. 500 calories a day will yield a 1 pound a week result, assuming that you stay at 500 calories. It's very manageable to be at 1,500 calories. But is it? Because now you have a little bit of freedom to put some things in there that maybe don't necessarily fit. Now, I will say, with the protocol that I'm doing with more of an aggressive diet, like it is protein, fruits, and vegetables, not much else. I made sure that I'm putting in my bran buds for digestion, but it is protein. The junkiest food that I'm having is Laughing Cow, the cheese wedges, and then Heinz gravy. Everything else is whole foods. I love the egg life wraps. We're doing plenty of eggs. I'm doing chicken thighs, shrimp, tuna, 99% fat-free turkey. My meals are generally pretty big. We're in the 65 to 70 grams of protein range. And then I will do yogurt and protein powder. That's where I put my bran buds and my fruit. And then I have a snack, a couple boiled eggs, some cottage cheese, and then fruit, and then veggies, right? We're going to throw veggies maybe in with the eggs, or I'm going to have some veggies with my meats. And so the thing with a 1,500 calorie diet is you can only eat so much of that stuff, right? Okay, so maybe you could make up 1,000 calories, but now we have a room, right? And that is the flexibility. You do have the flexibility of being in a moderate deficit where we can have things like wheat thins. You can have 100 calorie snack pack, right? You can have cookies, you can have wine, you can have chocolate, you can have all that stuff. You can work it in, right? So if it fits your macros, which I 1000% believe in. And now the problem comes usually on the weekends where 1,500 calories, okay, now we're trying to fit in a whole restaurant meal, which can absolutely be done, but a lot of people have trouble with the bread basket, and then that looks so good, right? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, right? Have it, but now you're at 1,500 calories. You go out on the weekend and you're like, I just got a little bit away from me, or you didn't plan well and you were starving, right? And so that's the thing, is hunger. On a 1,500 calorie diet, there is no such thing as fucking utopia. You're going to be hungry, especially if you've been eating 2,000 calories, 2,200 calories, 2,300 calories, and now you go into a 500 calorie deficit. Your body's going to know, right? Your body's going to be like, hey, where's our calories, right? Same thing with an aggressive diet. Now it's like low key, you're just hungry. You're looking at the clock. When's my next meal? God, I'm so hungry now. Maybe I'll just have a little bit extra calories and then I just won't have as much for dinner, right? Yeah, good luck with that. That's where we run into an issue with a 500 calorie deficit long term, right? Yeah, the first 2 weeks you're excited, you got a diet. Oh, you lost a pound this week. Yay, you're getting movement on the scale, right? Is that exciting? It sure as fuck is, especially when you're like, God damn, this thing keeps going up. So yeah, but how much more exciting is it to get results like Stacy? She's fucking 6 pounds down, right? Or Pam, who's down 4 pounds. It is hella motivating. And so the thing with your 500 calorie deficit is that's 3,500 calories in a week. So as long as you're in a deficit of 3,500 calories for 1 week, and that's 500 calories every damn day, 7 days a week, then you will lose a pound. Now, you go up over your calories any of those days, and guess what? Now we're not losing a pound a week. Now that's shrinking. And so it only takes 1,750 calories to drop it down to where you're only losing half a pound. It only takes half of that. What's a quarter of 3,500? I don't know, 150? 850 calories over any of those 7 days, right? You can stack it up. Maybe you're over 100 here, 200 here, and maybe blow it out on the weekends. We had a couple glasses of wine, we're over, or we had a spicy marg. So it's pretty easy to go over your calories, especially the longer you stay in a deficit. Now, you have a birthday celebration. Of course, we're going to celebrate, right? We went over our calories. Okay, no big deal. Guess what? We're not losing weight this week. And so that's where it becomes just so unmotivating. I should be cooking my meal, but I'm on a roll here, and I should have just started it before I even started this video. We'll pull the stuff out. So I'm going to do some shrimp. So I'll drain those. I'm going to cook up a big ass serving of broccoli. This sweet chili, this is amazing. 5 calories in 2 tablespoons. This stuff is spicy. It's going to be fantastic with the shrimp. So I'm going to cook the shrimp in it. I have these konjac noodles that I'm going to put a little bit of this brown gravy in so that it's kind of Chinesey and salty. Let me show you what those konjac noodles look like. These aren't the ones that I usually get. These are 10 calories for this whole bag. When I say whole bag, it's not a huge amount, but it is. I'm just eating this all for myself, right? My husband can fend for his own damn self. My meals are big, and that's one of the secrets is like volume cooking. To have voluminous foods, that's where the broccoli is going to come in. I'm going to have a cup of broccoli. I'm going to drain my shrimp. I just get the raw, peeled, and deveined tail off because I don't want to be dealing with that. I'm supposed to be eating 4 ounces, but I missed a meal. So I'm going to double up on it. And then I'll just have to do my protein powder. I don't know why shrimp is so filling. Same with scallops. I have to say that taking this approach for my clients, 2 years ago, I never would have done this. Or I should say 3 years ago, I never would have done this with my clients. I would have said that you absolutely cannot take this kind of approach with women who are in their 50s, in menopause, stress, cortisol, like all of that stuff. And I don't know if you guys have seen, cortisol is the new phase. We buy into these things that just aren't serving us. Let me chop my scallions. This is like the most effort I put into cooking. Usually I'm a convenience cook and everything is ready to roll. This is probably one of my most complicated recipes. I am not a huge cook and I'm very much rely on my meal prep as far as I make sure I have boiled eggs ready all the time. What does my meal prep look like? Cooking the meats. I did an aggressive cut last summer and I lost 16 pounds in 8 weeks and I had 3 diet breaks, and this was to get photo shoot ready. I switched over to chicken thighs, and I enjoy chicken thighs. I don't have to have sauce and cheese. For chicken breasts, I have to have sauce and cheese on there. This has come together beautifully. Now, you bet your ass I'm hungry. Again, this is a lot of food. I'm not starving when I was eating my regular meals. My meals are big. I'll have like 8 ounces of turkey at a time. That's a good amount. My freaking chicken enchiladas, they were green chili enchiladas with cheese, green chili sauce. So good, so filling. 70 grams of protein in that baby, right? I made 2, so I had one for the next day. And then here's the shrimps. It's a lot of food, guys. I'm gonna just add a bunch of scallions on there because it's so pretty. I already just can't wait to eat it. And that's another thing. Be excited about your meals. Oh yeah, that was the point that I didn't finish. So now even the blandest foods are so exciting. And so this is about a reset. It's about a pattern interrupt. Because coming off of or living in excess, I just went to Youngblood, we went to Vegas, and everything is excessive and huge and flavorful and calorically rich. Now, when you can reset your taste, that's part of how you create those healthy habits for yourself. So look how good that is. I'm gonna take a picture for my girls. I'm gonna log it and just show them. Actually, it's already logged. That's the key to doing something like this. When I'm in the mall, I'm like, what's on my plan, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm gonna have the shrimp and broccoli. That's what stopped me from, you know what, I really should eat. Let me just get like a protein, but no, I'm not gonna waste 200 calories on a protein bar. So absolutely not. Let me see what this meal is. I did double the shrimp. I might just double up on my protein powder, to be honest. This meal with the noodles, the sauce, the broccoli, the shrimp is 184 calories. It's less than a protein bar would have been, right? They're like clocking at 200. Now, let me double up on the shrimp. So we got 32 grams of protein, 15 grams of carbs, only 4 grams of fat for the 210 calories. All right, so it's 5:15. I've been yapping. The point of this is to show you that you can lose weight quickly. It is way more enjoyable than losing just 1 pound a week. So we get in and we get out. You can do anything for 2 weeks, right? The results are fantastic. Now, Stacy's already down 6 pounds. Is she gonna get another 6 pounds next week? Absolutely not, right? Because she was down 3.2 or whatever. So typically for my clients, I always say it's between 5 and 9 pounds, but I've had clients lose more than 9 pounds. But lately, my clients are losing around that 8-pound mark. And it doesn't matter if they're lean or if they're not lean. Karen lost 8 pounds. And I was like curious. I'm like, gosh, I lose around 6 or so. She freaking rocked 8 pounds. And she is so excited. She's a teacher, but she was like, oh my God. She's like, this is so easy. And you know what clients say? When can I do this again? Right? When can I do this again? Because they do have bigger weight loss goals. Say you have 15, 20 pounds to lose. If you have 20 pounds to lose and you rock it, so I have Sherry who did this in January and she lost 9.9 pounds. You're already 9 pounds towards your goal in 2 weeks. And then we take a little break, right? Now we can have your moderate deficit, or now we can get up to some bullshit on the weekends and not ruin our progress. And here's another thing. When you come off of a protocol like this. So what we'll typically do is the client, do they still have weight loss goals? Then we'll calculate that deficit, right? Let's just use 1,500 calories. When you come from low calories and you get up to 1,500, you're like, oh my God, this is so much food. This is a lot, and they can't hit their calories, right? Because they're not hungry, it's a lot of food. It takes them a bit to get up to those calories. It's a win-win. You're decreasing inflammation, bloat comes down, you feel amazing, energy goes up. Yes, there is a transition period where we're gonna feel a little tired, we might have some hunger cues, and then you get into utopia where the rest is easy. And the benefits that you get: clear skin, feeling good, decreased inflammation. It's all a win-win. It's not just about the weight, guys. You're getting that positive reinforcement. There can absolutely be stalls. You can even gain. It just happens. That's the way that the body is. You cannot predict how the body is going to react. Just hang in there, trust the process for the 14 days. It's 14 days. You can absolutely do it. Imagine 5 months to commit. You got a pound a week, you have 20 pounds to lose, and you're like, okay, let's take 5 months, half a fucking year. And knowing that, oh, okay, there was Mother's Day, there's Father's Day, here's Memorial Day, here's 4th of July, right? Are you gonna be able to stay in a 500 calorie deficit for 5 months? No. And we know this. We're like, this is a wash. Guess what? Now that 5 months becomes 6 months, or now it becomes 7 months, or maybe 2 months in, and you're like, you know what? I don't care. Look, I'm gonna stop. Summer's here. I don't care. So get your fire results. Try this approach with us. You don't just go into the rapid fat loss, right? You have to be prepared for this, and it is definitely based on a macro approach. Yes, I do have sample meal plans. I have a fire resource of meal plans like this and snacks that don't suck, specifically for this protocol. I'm not eating this bullshit when I'm in maintenance. I am not eating these fucking noodles. I'm eating real noodles when I'm having my calories. So I think I made my case for why you should use an aggressive protocol over a moderate, and we weave them in together, right? Because you can't do this for more than 2 weeks, right? We weave in the process and we take diet breaks. And over the 3-day Memorial Day weekend, most of my ladies weren't tracking, or they were just like, we'll be mindful, but weren't necessarily tracking. Taking those breaks, you're going to get your results so much faster. I can't think of a better demographic than a 50 plus menopausal female to do this kind of approach. Give me one demographic that would benefit more than the woman who has been stuck with her weight loss for years, 4 months, nothing is working, and she's being inundated with all the bullshit noise. It's your stress, it's your cortisol. You need to do this, you need to do that. You need to wear a weighted vest. You need to do all these supplements. It's your hormones. Guys, like, this approach proves it is not your hormones. Now, there are some contraindications. There always is. But for the typical woman that has been like, I haven't really changed anything and nothing is working, this works. If you're sick of the bullshit, reach out to us. Let's get you on board. Let's have you losing weight in an enjoyable manner. It is so motivating when you crush your goals, and it is so motivating to see that scale finally freaking move out of what you've been watching just increase, or it has stalled out for months or even years. So that's my case. If you're ready, reach out to me. We'll have a quick conversation to see if this approach is good for you. If it is, awesome. If it is not, awesome as well. I love to talk to you guys and see what it is that you're struggling with. I always get ideas for podcasts or for posts or anything like that, having a conversation. If you're like, hey, I definitely want to see what it's about, and if I can swing it, I'll tell you straight up. It's $4.99 a month, 4 months. After that, it's $3.99 a month to continue. So straight up, that's the pricing. If that's out of your budget, I get it. I totally get it. Is it more than you want to spend? Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. But are you kidding me? This is guaranteed results. You've maybe done some other bullshit where you got some quick results and then you gained it back. You're not gaining it back. We're teaching you lifestyle habits here so that you can maintain this. This is what a GLP-1 is never going to do. You're going to be maintaining your muscle. We are strictly going after fat loss. We are reducing the fat on the body. That's what we want. I don't care how much you weigh. I could give a shit less how much you weigh. I care about that lumpy, bumpy stuff on your body. I don't want to see it either, right? I can't stand it, right? I'm like, let's get that off, right? I want to see my muscles. So let's get the lumpy, bumpy stuff off. That's going to involve weight loss, but we also want to make sure we're protecting muscle, and that's why I take a macro-based approach. All this protein just keeps you full, and it keeps you from snacking all day. Get your protein in, right? Stop dicking around with that, because that is one thing that is going to stop you from having cravings. Am I going to leave you on that note? Yes. Have a great weekend.